front of the table and hold the mic? Is that going to work, or that'll work? All right.
Like from the side, especially. Look, doesn't that look like sand?
Can I have your attention, please? My name is David Reinstein. I'm the president of PACE, and I want to welcome you to the PACE NSC. Thank you very much for coming, and we are very excited for this tournament we're putting on the next couple of days. We're lucky to have a great field from around the country and even around the world, and we're happy to have you here. We're excited, and we're looking forward to a great tournament. This is the 20th year of the PACE NSC, and we hope it gets better every year. A few things I want to start out with. One is sportsmanship. You're going to be going against a lot of great teams today. You're going to be with a lot of different moderators. Please treat teams, treat moderators with respect. If there's any situation where you feel like you're not respected, I'll be sitting in the front lobby. Come and talk to me, and let's work that out. If you have a protest, make a protest. That's fine. But all you have to do is say we want to make a protest. You can fill out the form if necessary, and we'll take it from there. I want to talk a little bit about PACE. PACE is a nonprofit that supports Quiz Bowl. This tournament is the biggest thing we do each year, but there are a lot of things we do each year to support Quiz Bowl. One question you can ask yourself is, what can PACE do for me? Don't be afraid to ask that question. If you have any ideas on what PACE can do to support your team, to support your circuit, to support Quiz Bowl nationally, I'm happy to talk to you about that. Talk to me today, talk to me tomorrow, email me. But we're always looking for great ideas to support Quiz Bowl. We're always looking for different ways to support Quiz Bowl. It's grown a tremendous amount in the 20 years that PACE has been around, and we want to keep that going. This morning, I want to recognize the two Ben Cooper Award winners who we're happy to have here today. Two people who have done extraordinary things to support Quiz Bowl, both nationally and at the local level. I'm going to start out with Fred Moreland. Dr. Fred Moreland. The Benjamin Cooper Academic Ambassador Award. The award says for his work on HSQB rank, assisting coaches and tournament directors in Kentucky and West Virginia, and spreading better Quiz Bowl practices nationwide. Fred has had a tremendous impact on Quiz Bowl over the last decade or so, and one of the reasons PACE is alive and strong is because of the work Fred has done, and he's done a lot of wonderful things for Quiz Bowl, and we're happy to honor him.
I'll keep it short because I know everyone does not care. This is the end of my 20th year in Quiz Bowl, if I'm doing math correctly, which as a soon-to-be pharmacist, I hopefully am. I just want to thank everyone that has supported me along the way. That includes my lovely wife, Nicole, who is watching at home right now, probably telling me not to pace or something. My family, including my mother, who sacrificed a lot to help me out, and all the great people I've got to know during Quiz Bowl. There's too many to mention, but they've all been tremendously helpful. If I could say just one thing on the way out, letting you on to your day, try to help other people. I know that's like a very preachy thing to say, but I didn't get to this point without the help of others. And one of the things that stuck with me that one of my professors in pharmacy school told me is that when students go to her for help, she understands that part of the deal is she's being used. And that is because the student is going to get more out of it than she is. Try to keep that going forward. I am where I am today, standing in this room with a microphone, or whatever that's worth, because other people have helped me get here. And part of my goal is to try to help other people along the way, and I encourage you to do that, whether that be in a career you choose or in volunteer work, just community work. I think that's a tremendous thing to do, and I strongly encourage you to do so. That being said, I want to thank all of you for attending the NSC this year. I really enjoyed working on it over the past however many years. I hope you enjoy it, I hope you have fun, and I hope best of luck to everyone. Thank you.
All right. I also want to honor Jackie Wu, Benjamin Cooper Young Ambassador Award. Jackie is just a junior in high school, but she's already had an impact on Quiz Bowl in her area. And so we're very happy to honor this. The reason Quiz Bowl keeps getting better is because students make it get better. And you know, and it's best when students and coaches work together, but so much energy, so much ideas comes from students that do so many good things that have gotten us to where we are today. This award, the Benjamin Cooper Young Ambassador Award, Jackie Wu, for her work converting the Philadelphia region to Pyramidal Quiz Bowl, including hosting multiple tournaments. She's done a wonderful job, and congratulations, Jackie.
So I'd just like to say, first of all, thank you so much to PACE for this opportunity and this award, because it's truly a huge honor. And like Fred said before me, thank you so much to everyone who helps other people at Quiz Bowl, and thanks to everyone who has helped me so far. And I realize that sounds like really sappy, but it's true. There are just a ton of people who are willing to help me out in all parts of Quiz Bowl, whether it be giving me advice on how to become a better player or coming and volunteering their time to staff the tournaments. So I think that's really amazing. And so one of my main goals this past year has been trying to push for better Quiz Bowl practices in my area, and especially in my counties locally, because I think it's really important that we give all teams a chance to play on a really fair format and high quality questions that the rest of us are used to playing around the country. And with that, another one of my main goals is, as we said before, is to just help other people, because I think it's really important to be that mentor or friend to a new team or someone who's just starting out, because that's what got most of us into the game and into the community, and I think it's really important to keep that going. So thank you again, and good luck to everyone this weekend.
Thank you very much. Two great people, two very deserving honorees. Before I hand things over here, just a few more people I want to thank. Rob Carson is the set editor this year. He's not at this meeting, but if you see him today or at any point in the future, thank him for the great job he did on this set. Or point out the problems if you want to point out the problems, but he did do a great job with this set. Bernadette Spencer coordinates everything with the hotel, making sure all the rooms are in order, make sure everything's lined up, and also works coordinating the staff. She puts a tremendous amount of effort into this tournament, making sure everything runs smoothly. And last, I would like to thank Rob Kandakar, who is our tournament director. He's done a tremendous job getting everything ordered, getting all the grids together, making sure everyone's in the right place and knows where they're supposed to go, and has done a great job with this tournament. And I'm actually going to hand things over to Gaurav. Come on out. Thank you.
Thanks everyone for coming out today. Before I begin, I just want to congratulate Fred and Jackie again. I've heard Fred's name in Quiz Bowl since I first started in 2006, and his prominence just keeps growing. And Jackie, it's amazing how much you achieved so early in their high school career. They're really inspiring to, I think, everyone in the community as people to look for to get advice on how to behave as a member of this tightly knit community. Okay, so I'll keep it short here. This meeting from now on is mostly going to be about the logistics for the day. So quickly, before I begin, there's an important schedule change that I want to announce. This change only affects the teams that are playing in the Maple and Oak preliminary brackets and was announced via email yesterday night. So this is on page 4 of the tournament schedule, so if you flip to that, you will see that currently the 4 rooms in the Maple bracket are all in the 2,000 numbers, and that all the 4 rooms in the Oak bracket are in the 900 numbers. All that's going to happen is that the room number row is going to be transposed between Maple and Oak, so that the 4 rooms for Oak are in order 2540, 2932, 2740, and 2918. And the 4 rooms for Maple now in order are 936, 956, 953, and 916. If you look online on the pacensc.github.io website, the copy of the schedule there is correct. It reflects this change. And if you got a schedule at Team Check-In this morning, that copy also reflects this change. But if you got a copy of the schedule last night at Team Check-In, then please make sure that those numbers are updated on your schedule. Okay. And quick note, of course, the bracket captains in Oak and Maple are also switched. Any questions about that change? Fairly straightforward, I think. Okay, cool. Quick orientation to this hotel. Most of the games that we will be playing today are on the 3 main levels of this hotel, which are the international lobby and entry level. So that's kind of all accessible through that central chamber of where you came in and came down from the Team Check-In area to come to this room. There are a couple of prelim brackets that play their great games in the executive wing, which is most easily accessible kind of next to where the breakfast was this morning on the lobby level. If you have any questions about locations, there's a map on pages 5 and 6, I believe, the abridged tournament program that you have in your copies.
Those are the ones in the 2000s.
Yes, so the executive wing rooms are the ones in the 2,000 numbers. That's right. There's also games on the 9th and 10th floor of the building, and that's kind of in that main tower, so you will take the central elevators up to the 9th and 10th game floors. Any questions about the hotel? Okay, quick lunch options. There will be a cash bar in the hotel, I believe, a lower under us right now. There's also a big mall nearby with a bunch of lunch options. For teams that want to find directions, there's a QR code in your abridged program, and if you scan that QR code, you will be sent to a Google map that has lists and walking directions to lunch options. Okay, moving on to the format for today. If you've been to NSC's past, this will feel very similar to last year's. The day will begin with 7 rounds of preliminary play in the prelim brackets. After those 7 rounds are up, you will go to your bracket captain. The bracket captain room is listed right under your prelim schedule in the document. Please don't leave for lunch after round 7 until your bracket captain either tells you that you're free to go or tells you that you're involved in tiebreakers, which will determine which playoff bracket you advance to for the afternoon. If you go to lunch and you're involved in a tiebreaker, you are forfeiting your tiebreaker. So please make sure that you confirm with your bracket captain whether or not you're free to go to lunch before you leave. After lunch, as you are all eating lunch, we will be working on the playoff seeds, and those playoff seeds for today afternoon's games will be posted online. If you scan that QR code on the front of your program, you will be sent to a website where those seeds will be available. They will also be posted to the HS Quiz Bowl forums, and they will also be available in print form near where the team check-in happened this morning. So please make sure that you check those a little after 2:30 and be in your Game 8 game room by 2:50 p.m. for games to start on time. After the 5 rounds, which will happen during the playoffs today, again, go to your bracket captain. That playoff bracket captain is also listed in the schedule. If you are in, sorry, that only applies to teams that are in tiers 1 and 2. So if you're in tier 1 and 2, you'll be instructed to go to a bracket captain and confirm your records for the day. Those records will help us determine which super playoff bracket you advance to for tomorrow morning. You may be asked to stay back for a tiebreaker game then. Again, if you leave and don't show up to your bracket captain, you're assumed to have forfeited your tiebreaker game. If you're in tiers 3 and 4 for the playoffs this afternoon, then you need not go to a bracket captain. You will be asked to report your playoff win-loss record to your round 12 moderator. All of these instructions will be clear. The moderators know this. This is in your schedule, but I'm saying it again here in case that raises any questions. So any questions about what's happening today? Okay, so tomorrow gameplay will begin. The time is listed. I might whip this, but it's 8:30 a.m. is when the games are expected to start. So you will be in around 16 rooms, around 13 rooms at that time. If you are in tiers 3 and 4, you will certainly be playing 3 games tomorrow to determine your final placement. If you're in tier 1, you will certainly be playing at least 6 games to determine your final placement tomorrow. If you're in tier 2 for this afternoon's games, then you may be playing 6 or you may be playing 3 games tomorrow, depending on where in tier 2 you end up this afternoon. Again, should be clear in the document that you have. If you're in tier 1 and are playing the 6 games tomorrow, then after those 6 games, you will be again asked to go to a bracket captain. There you will find out whether you're involved in any tiebreakers. Any tiebreakers tomorrow will happen before teams are dismissed to lunch. No?
No. Tiebreakers and finals are after lunch on Sunday.
Okay. I think the schedule says the correct thing, and I just have it wrong in my head. So tomorrow, do what the program says. If you're in a tiebreaker, or if you're in tier 1, go to your bracket captain. Your bracket captain will either arrange for tiebreakers after lunch, or will tell you what games you have to be involved in for final placement. If you're a small school or a junior varsity team, you are asked to go to a room that is listed in your schedule. I believe it's Sky Harbor A. There you will be told whether you're involved in any finals or tiebreakers games to determine the championships for those 2 eligibilities. Okay? So tomorrow after lunch, there might be tiebreakers to determine who is finishing at which spot in the top. If there are to be finals, which will happen if the top team is fewer than 2 games ahead of the second place team, then those finals will happen in this room, all after 2:30 p.m., depending on how the tiebreaker schedule ends up. After finals, there will be an award ceremony, followed by an all-star game, and I want to give a quick plug for the all-star game. So this is text sent to me by President Set Editor Rob Carson. This is what he says about the all-star game. This year's all-star game format will be somewhat of an experiment. In an effort to make the experience more entertaining for both the players and the audience, the writers will have dug deep into Quiz Bowl's more obscure history and produced some questions that, at the very worst, will make you thankful that you're playing in the modern era and not in the old age. There will also be action questions. You won't want to miss this all-star game. It sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, let's keep this moving. I'm going to get you out of here quickly. A few quick general reminders. You all know this. You've completed Quiz Bowl at various stages, so these are all kind of internalized, but let me just tell you. Between rounds, move quickly. Don't kind of hang out at the end of one room before you go to the second room. If a door is closed when you show up to a room, assume that there's a game going on in there. Keep your voices down outside. If you're waiting for a while and there seems to be no activity, knock on the door before you barge in. You don't want your own games interrupted, so please treat other teams with that same respect. Any questions about that? Quick summary of the gameplay. So there will be at most 4 players per team playing at any one time today. There will be 20 toss-ups per packet and as many bonuses as the number of toss-ups that are answered correctly. A toss-up has power in it, somewhere marked along the text of the question. If you buzz in and you answer it correctly before that mark, you will be awarded 20 points and a bonus. If you answer it correctly after that mark, you'll be awarded 10 points and a bonus. Each bonus is worth up to 30 points, in 3 parts of 10 points each. If your team misses any of those parts, then that part will be rebounded to your competing team. After you buzz in, you have 5 seconds to give an answer. After your team hears the bonus part, if your team answered that question correctly, then you have 5 seconds to respond. If you are getting a bounce back or a rebounding bonus, then you have 3 seconds to answer that question, that bonus question. So it's 5, 5, 3, basically. 5 seconds after toss-up, 5 seconds after bonus if you're the controlling team, 3 seconds after bonus if you're the bounce back team. If there's a tie at the end of 20 toss-ups, then there's a sudden death tiebreaker. There will be a toss-up 21. Whoever answers that toss-up correctly first will win that game. There will be no substitutions except for at the halftime. And you can have at most 6 players on any roster. We have confirmed this already, but please don't try to introduce a 7th player halfway through the tournament. We won't allow that.
They can also sub before overtime.
Yes, good point. So you can also sub in players after toss-up 20 if there's going to be a tiebreaker. Set it that. Question?
Yeah, the rules say the rebounding team gives us 1 second to come in instead of 3. I'm hoping it's 3, but
It is 3 seconds according to last year's official PACE NSC rules. By last year, I mean we updated last year. John, can you confirm this for me? We'll confirm this by the end of this meeting, but 3 seconds is what you're told, 3 seconds is what moderators are told, and 3 seconds is what we will operate under for this tournament.
So on page 16, EX Rule 3, it says the non-controlling team has 3 seconds to give an answer during a bounce back, but the moderator will not ask for a specific prompt. So the controlling team, the moderator is counting to 5, and when they reach 4 seconds, they say captain and answer, and at that point you have 1 second to give an answer. If the first answer is wrong and it's tossed to the second team has 3 seconds but does not get a warning before time is called.
Thanks, John. Okay, final note about gameplay. If there's a protest, which means that you think your answer should have been correct, or you think your opposing team's answer should not have been correct, then during gameplay, please just say protest. The scorekeeper will mark it, and at the end of toss-up 20, will determine if the outcome of that protest changes the outcome of the game. If it does, then both teams will sign off on a written protest form, which will ask you to describe exactly where the buzz happened, what the team said, what the answer sheet said. That protest will be ruled on by a trio of 3 set editors, headed up by the main editor, Rob Carson, and that decision will be final. If the protest, so basically at the end of toss-up 20, 2 teams, the moderator will together fill out that protest sheet. Both teams will sign off on it. That protest sheet will come to us in the control room. While that happens, please move on to your next round. Don't wait for the protest to be resolved. Go if the protest happens in round 1, go to round 2 right away. We will inform you how that protest was ruled on. If a protest happens after round 7, then go to your bracket captain's room. They will be told what the outcome of that protest is. We don't want to slow down the tournament anywhere because there's a protest in this one room. So we're going to keep things moving, and when there are these big breaks, like after round 7, everyone will be on the same page. Are there any questions about gameplay? Yeah. There's 1 30-second timeout per team per game.
There's a score check, but not a substitution.
They can, yes, you can use the timeout as a score check, as a breather, but you may not substitute players during the timeout. Yeah.
If protest is upheld, how do you resolve that during the tiebreaker periods?
In general, as soon as we're able to get the teams together for any makeup play, we would do that as quickly as we could.
Yes, so exactly. So anytime we need the outcome of protest to be decided, all provisional play, so all play to change the outcome of a game will happen after round 7 but before tiebreakers. Any other questions? Again, a final reminder that the prelim rooms for the Maple and Oak bracket are, so say this correctly, Oak is in the executive wing in the 2000 rooms, Maple is in the main tower in the 900 rooms. For those that came late. Anything I've forgotten? Okay, so with that, I want to again, a bit cheesy, but I want to remind you and encourage you to play with a good competitive spirit, treat your opponents with respect, treat your moderators with respect. We want to have a fun, healthy competition here. And may the best team prevail. Good luck.
I think that's something